What is something you did when you were younger that you are still facing the consequences of? Not taking care of my teeth and not learning how to budget. Now I am broke with fuck teeth. Dental hygiene. Ran my credit into the ground because I was so sure I was going to kill myself by the time I was 22, so why not? Chose a low-pay, high-stress career. Flew off a waterslide while goofing off. Landed on concrete. Left hip still hurts to sleep on 20-ish years later. It took at least 10 years before I told my mom what happened. I listened to music way too fucking loudly. I'm 37 and I absolutely need hearing aids. I'm not deaf, but if there is even slight background noise, everything sounds incredibly muffled. Sometimes I have to ask people to repeat themselves 3-4 times. Edit. I never got tinnitus. There were no blaring signs of hearing loss that I noticed, it was extremely gradual. Turn your shit down, bitches. Wear earplugs. I had a treehouse that was about 10 feet off the ground and I would regularly jump out of it. Being an idiot, I wouldn't brace myself when I landed because I thought I looked cooler doing it that way. Just straight up land on my feet without so much as bending my knees. Well, guess who's got shit knees before they've hit 30? Edit. Obligatory. Of course, my highest comment is me being a dumbass 8-year-old and thanks for the award, stranger. Loud concerts, no earplugs. Overspending. Got a credit card as soon as I turned 18. It had a limit of £5,000 and I was not financially responsible. Cut a long story short, more credit cards, horrible cycle of debt, had to dig myself out of it. I got out of debt at 32, lived paycheck to paycheck for a while. I'm 37 now and this year is first year of my life I have savings. If anyone out there has crippling debt, don't feel hopeless, there's always a way out, even if it takes years. You can do it. Not having a good posture. Blew my credit. Still fixing that one. Nice job, me. I sprained my ankle on a treadmill when I was 13 and I was too stubborn to let it heal properly. So now, nearly 15 years later, I can't walk until like 10 in the morning a couple times a month because my ankle is still a wee bit fucked. Not stand up for myself enough. Catching up and learning it as an adult is embarrassing at times. Not fully learning English until now. It's pretty hard ATM. I was working 40 hours a week while still in high school. After 6 months of non-stop work, I fell asleep behind the wheel and I lost my leg. I never studied. I didn't need to from elementary to high school. It was pretty easy for me, so I never studied. Now, I'm in college, and I am facing the consequences of that. I have no idea how to study effectively, and it's reflecting in my test scores. Edit. Thanks so much for all the advice, everyone. I'll take it all to heart. Overeat and eat poorly. Please teach and demonstrate nutrition and exercise to your kids. It is significant other fucking hard to defeat a lifetime of bad habits when you're in your adulthood and already feeling the effects of ill health from years of bad eating habits. And no, I don't just mean, force them to eat their veggies, and thus just create a totally negative relationship with healthy food. You have to find ways to make their importance clear and introduce new ways of eating healthy. Don't just feed a kid whatever they want whenever they want. I see that significant overmuch and the end result is not good. Not telling the truth of why I was depressed and how depressed I was. I got into the car of a couple that saw me walking home from school and offered me a ride home. Instead of driving me home, they took me to their house where they beat me, for putting up a fight when they were about to assault me, and raped me. I'm still struggling alone mentally and don't trust anybody. Edit. For those who want to know the whole story of what happened, I posted my story on the rape counseling subreddit. It is the first post I made on this account. I appreciate the kind words and support. Thank you. Not making it a point to work on my social skills. I was a bit of a loner in school, really shy. Now I struggle to make conversation with coworkers without feeling immense levels of anxiety. Worry that without this skill I'll never really get ahead. What made you join Reddit? I like following subjects more than people. When all my Google searches ended in plus Reddit. I like the fact that I don't know any of you. I live in Madagascar. I can only watch so many chickens before needing additional means of entertainment. On Reddit, you can decide what you want to engage. Facebook is more of who you want to engage. Being anonymous. Now that doesn't give you an express right to be an asshole, but it is exactly what differentiates Reddit from other so-called social media, and that includes LinkedIn too. You don't have to be interactive enough to be noticed, like that Black Mirror episode where people were so desperate to be in someone's eyes. Honestly, I find Reddit more peaceful and informative and somewhat consoling too than Facebook, Instagram, etc. My friend was boasting about it and how you can pick and choose what you see and that it's so diverse compared to Twitter. Deleted my Twitter account after 2 weeks if Reddit. My teenagers said I would love it. They were right. I can't even remember. Good question though. Feels like eons ago since I've joined and don't remember the purpose. I watched videos about Reddit and people had cool stories and I was like, this seems like cool community and place to share stories. Reddit comments. You cannot predict where conversation will go. I have been browsing Reddit for 6 years but did not make an account until this month. I like that you are anonymous and can get unrestricted opinions, good or bad. For instance, I made a throwaway and asked the pre-med and bioengineering subreddits for career and resume advice and I got honest opinions from experts in the field on ways to improve. These opinions were not filtered because they did not know me. It was really useful to be honest. Some even reached out to me in chat to give me advice on job hunting. One hiring manager even told me which companies to apply to. Dig V4. I can have an afro here. I had a specific question I needed to ask. I deleted all of my social media because it just felt toxic and self-absorbed. Of course this isn't the case for everyone, but I just recognized that it didn't feel like a good influence for me personally. And figured that if I followed the right subs, e.g. relating to my interests such as painting, literature etc., then Reddit could be a good substitute. It also feels a lot more authentic here. You're not getting all the generic crap like, look at how perfect my life is so often. I think this is where the anonymity works wonders because people don't have the same focus on self-image like they might do otherwise. I was super bored and lonely on Christmas Eve about 11 years ago and wanted to talk to people. Someone told me about it after I told them about the site 4chan I learned about from someone else. It's much safer here, I think I'll stay. Someone was wrong and needed correcting. The porn is the reason, also the memes. Edit. I did not expect for this to blow up like it did. I literally posted this in English consultations. They are a mandatory to do before an exam in Germany, at least in Saxony.